Hi, my name is Kelly Jones and I am back with another healthy eating tip. And today we are going to look at the claims that are made on the front of packaged goods. So this one here in particular, complete protein pasta, diabetic friendly, high in fiber, 100% whole grain, low glycemic. Manufacturers will put health claims on the front of products like that, but oftentimes those claims leave you feeling with the idea that that product is healthier than it really is. So let's take a look at some of the most common claims and what they mean. Let's start with low calorie. When you see on the front of a package low calorie, that means that that product has 1/3 fewer calories than its original counterpart. Now the interesting thing is that some products low calorie is actually equal to another product's original calories. So you really want to do some comparisons there. But when you think about it, just because a product is lower in calories doesn't necessarily make it healthier for you. Another one is 0 calorie. Now when I think about 0 calorie healthy things, I think of water. So when I see a product that says 0 calorie, I just can't imagine what actually makes up the product. It's got to be water and basically chemicals and maybe some artificial sweeteners. Not necessarily the best choice for you just because it doesn't have any calories. Another term you'll see is light. Most often it's spelled L-I-G-H-T. Sometimes they call it L-I-T-E, light. Those products are produced to reduce either calories or fats. Now some of those types of products are just simply watered down versions of the original. Low fat. So this usually means that the really tasty fat content of that product has been pulled out and has been replaced by sugar. And you'll kind of know that because when you flip the product over and you look at the nutrition label, you're going to see a number following where it says added sugars. So a really good example of that might be your salad dressing. Another term you'll see, low carb. So low carb is a real popular way to eat these days. And if you're eating primarily whole real foods, your carbs do tend to be a bit lower. So you're eliminating things like pasta and bread and some of those packaged type products. Now, just because a product says low carb doesn't make it healthy. If it's not a whole real food, it's likely just another packaged junky type food. Another one you'll see is 0 trans fats. Now we know trans fats are absolutely not good for us. Now, product manufacturers can say 0 trans fats if it's less than 0.5 grams of trans fats per serving. But one of the sneaky things they'll do there is they'll make the serving size ridiculously small. And it's just not even realistic that you would only eat 1 serving of it. So what you need to do is you need to go back to that ingredient list, and if you see any partially hydrogenated oils on the list, that means there are trans fats in the product. Multi-grain, I love that word. It sounds so healthy. But it just simply means that more than 1 grain was used to make the product. And when you look at the ingredient list, most often it's some sort of refined flour or grain or that sort of thing that's being used, which isn't necessarily healthier for you. It could say made with whole grains on the front. So what you want to do there is you want to go to that ingredient list, and if whole grains is not one of the first 3 ingredients on the list, probably means that there's negligible amounts of whole grains in that product. Fortified, enriched, good source of vitamins and minerals, good source of vitamin, and then they list a specific 1 or 2 vitamins. What that's telling you is in the manufacturing process of that product, all that good nutrition was stripped out of there and they had to add it back in. Unfortunately, when they add it back in, they most often use synthetic vitamins and minerals, and those aren't necessarily that healthy for us. And so you really got to look at the product and say, is this a really good, healthy product for me in the first place? Another one I'm seeing a lot is all natural. So that just simply means that at one point in the manufacturing process, an all natural ingredient was being used. But that doesn't mean that the entire product is all natural. So an example would be all natural Snapple. Only 10% of it's real juice. The rest of it is just a watered down version of sugar. So take a look at the ingredient list for something like that. Natural flavors, seeing that on a lot on the front of packages. Government regulations define natural flavors as those that derive their aroma or flavor chemicals from plant and animal sources that are distilled, fermented, or otherwise manipulated in a lab. So really, when all is said and done, there's very little about them that's actually natural. No added sugar. This simply means that in the processing of that product, they didn't add in sugar or add in any ingredients that contain sugar. But that doesn't mean that they aren't sweetened with sugar alcohols or artificial sweeteners. Once again, leading you to believe it's healthy, but maybe not so. Gluten-free. Gluten-free has gotten this connotation of being something healthier, but really all that label is saying is that no wheat, barley, rye, or spelt was used in the product. And if you really look at the gluten-free section, look at the type of products that are there, look at the ingredient list, you're still going to see lots of sugar, you're going to see unhealthy oils. Gluten-free doesn't make the product healthy for you. Fruit flavored. It's likely the product doesn't contain any fruit at all. It's simply chemicals that give you the flavor of fruit. And sometimes you just see made with real, and then you fill in the blank. It might be made with real cheese, made with real chocolate. I've seen one made with 100% real mashed potatoes, made with real fruit. Now, there may be a small part of that product that is actually made with a real ingredient, but sometimes that label is used just to divert your attention away from the unhealthy ingredients that are in that product. Like I mentioned before, sugar, unhealthy oils, unnatural or artificial flavors, and preservatives. So your best bet is to kind of skip the claims on the front, go straight to the ingredient label or the ingredient list, and look for products as much as you can where the first 3 ingredients are whole real foods, and after that there is not this huge laundry list of ingredients added to it. So I hope this helps you understand some of those labels and what they mean. We will see you next time.